How tightly do you like being hugged/squeezed? All depends on who it's from. A guy I like? Bear hug with a lift if he can manage it. Depends on my mood and who's hugging me. Depends on who it is that's hugging me. Somewhere in between. I strongly people who act like I'm a leper. But I also hate it when people squeeze for the sake of squeezing. It's just as with men who seem to view shaking hands as a competition they must win. You don't need to overdo it. Totally depends on the person and my mood. The more anxious I am, the tighter squeeze I need. I like gentle hugs that make me feel safe and loved. Bear hugs from my husband and daughter. Absolutely no touching from other people. Depends on the person. Family, regular hugs will do. Friend, whatever the heck they want to do because we don't know how to give normal hugs. XD significant other, as tight as he can without crushing the life out of me. Less than 3. I like a tight bear hug but not one that will break my back. It's person dependent. I love when my dad and girlfriend give me those tight back cracking hugs. Sometimes my girlfriend will just lay on me to give me the same sensation. Everyone else can just give me regular hugs. I don't like any hugs at all. Especially tight ones. I don't even do high fives actually. Not a fan of touch. I suppose the exception is my so. His hugs are really nice. Tight enough for me to feel held. But I can also pull away at any moment with ease. What is something that a lot of people find attractive that is actually a turn-off for you? Fake injections. Puffy fake lips. The absurd amount of makeup that makes them look like a living doll, which is creepy AF. Too many tattoos. Actually, I don't think that many men are turned on, but women seem to think they should be because they find them a turn on, or some do, as they signal bad boy appeal. Nothing more of a waste than a fine look-in woman with a sleeve or worse, a sternum tat. I don't dig the skanku look. Thick women. I mean, I like and, sure, but on a petite frame. The symbols of the 50s, 60s and 70s, 80s, 90s were more beautiful than today. Even women that were considered curvy back then like Sophia Loren or Marilyn Monroe are very petite compared to today's standard of curvy, which is big fat. Muscle thighs and cankles. It's not womanly or feminine to me if it's not got some fineness and delicateness to it. Big and thick women. I love petite women with equally proportioned and butts. But I guess being in the minority is good because that's less competition for me. Men in tight pants that you can see the shape and size of the or P. Men who are extremely like movie stars. Like really handsome. And spend 3 hours getting ready. Men with perfect eyebrows. Salon perfect. I read so-con comments here hating on makeup in general. But it is a huge turn on for me when a girl is all dolled up in a skillful and classy way. It's also what I have seen most guys in real life situations be smitten with, by the way. Huge. I do like bigger butts, but not the sloshy fat type of big, but the more firm. Thicker type. Kinda hard to pinpoint what I mean 100% in it, you know. Girl is not a skinny lady, but her curves are complemented by some sort of sport, you know. You think the government would create a conspiracy? I mean, after flat earthers I wouldn't even be surprised. Area 51 has been testing a new hypersonic sleigh and reindeer with an extremely low radar cross-section to penetrate doubters' airspace and conduct psychological missions with sonic booms and candy cane cluster munitions. Of course Santa isn't real. We figured that out as adults. Right? But before we became adults we had that childish imagination to believe Santa was real, and we went to bed, tossing and turning but eventually falling asleep at just the idea Santa was bringing my present because he already knew what I wanted. Getting up earlier than my mom and dad wanted us to because they had been up all night wrapping our presents that I wasn't supposed to know as a child. Yes. They've been doing it for decades. The truth is that Santa got wired on a bad batch of eggnog back in the late 60s. Thought he could fly without the reindeer and took a dive out the sleigh at 30,000 feet. Luckily it was somewhere over the ocean, so he didn't hit anyone when he went splat. LBJ didn't want the world thinking Santa had died during his watch. He had enough bad press with the whole Vietnam War thing. So he told the military to come up with a cover story, and here we are 50 years later still pretending. He has to be real. He ate the cookies I left out when I was 8. People keep saying it was my parents. But they were on a strict no-cookie diet the entire week. People are just mean-spirited, and don't forget all the folks who know they aren't going to get a visit from Santa this year, the technical term for their ilk being haters if I recall. Accordingly speaking though. What can we really expect? 'Cause haters though. Haters do be hating. Whatever. They can hate all my dope new toys and stock and favors from afar. While angrily palming a giant lump of coal preferably. Santa got my back. If you had to smell like one thing for the rest of your life, what would you want to smell like? Normal human being. Saw the floral masks. They hide our natural pheromones, which are there for so many reasons. Stick with M, they contain so much info. $10 Lucky Brand perfume. Its combined scents are ruby red grapefruit, blue poppy, and musk. Smells better than what you'd think those three would smell like. My granny's front porch. It was a blend of roses, lilacs, honeysuckle, magnolia and fresh cut grass. I can't find anything that smells like that, but it was the best smell in the world. That laundry scented candle that doesn't actually smell like laundry, but it definitely smells fine. It fits my personality. The chilly air smell that you only notice on the first cold night of fall. Maybe kinda weird, it's very comforting to me though. It's the smell of my mom. It's usually when I am sick that it brings the most comfort to me. The smell of a long gone loved one. Like a grandpa, for example. So I would smell different for everyone, but they would connect good memories with me. Wolfthorn. The best smelling deodorant I ever smelled. Smells like lemon and vanilla. Wish there was men perfume that smelled like that. I am not sure why. But I smell really good about a day after I last took a shower. If there were a chart of how good I smell over time after having a shower, it would start off pretty good. Improve throughout the first day. Hit a peak between 24 and 36 hours. And then very quickly go down. So I would like to always smell the way I smell about 24 hours after I last had a shower. After rain. That smell of the air after a rainstorm. That nice, crisp, grass blade dew. If not that, then I'll settle for the constant smell of coffee.